Hello, I'm talking about filmmaking today because filmmaking is something that I am striving to do, so why not talk about it? And one thing you'll learn about filmmaking along the way is that it's something that I believe that you will always progress in because as long as you're learning and willing to learn, there is more to find out about filmmaking. It's quite simple as that because you have to learn about how to operate a camera. You also need to learn about how to have your own production because filmmaking is like, to me in my head, is either one or another thing. It could be a solo activity. There are solo filmmakers. They just have this way of capturing something and filming something and editing it down so well that it's great. And then there's some people that need a group. That's the general idea about filmmaking, right? Having a crew, basically, all these people working behind the scenes to give you a wonderful final final look, process of your whole film, the final look. And so the question is, how do different people find a crew? Because a crew is not easy to find because it's all about either having the dough or networking. So the question is, how do I either join a crew or how do I create a crew? And that's what you have to do. And some people don't even know that's what they're doing because they just naturally know a lot of people and they're like, hey, I got this film idea and I want to shoot it. They're like, okay, yeah, I'll do the camera work. You do the writing. I'll do the makeup. I'll pick out some clothes. And they put it together and they have a film. And they don't realize that there's actual names for all these people that work behind the scenes that they naturally do well. Some people are very, very good at what they do and may not know the name of what they're doing. And that's what it is like becoming a filmmaker. You gradually begin to learn the names for everything, who is responsible for different things. And that's one thing I learned in my recent film classes, that if you have a film production, everyone should have a specific role and they should stick to their role. It's just like driving on a highway, stay in your lane. So if I'm responsible for wardrobe, I'm going to probably have a number of people I'm going to discuss it with, those people, in charge of the production. But, you don't want someone who's a gaffer or someone else coming in there saying, you know what, this, you know what I'm saying? Everyone has to stay in their lane, and that's what makes the production very well. The only time someone go out of the lane is perhaps if they know each other very well, and they may see something, they may have particular knowledge, and they may have to say something, I guess. But what I was generally taught about crews is that everyone has an assigned task, and they should stick to that assigned task so that they do not step on any toes. Because it's a very emotional process, filmmaking, because it's stressful sometimes. It's really stressful because you have a film idea and you have to get it out. And everyone can be emotional at times in the long hours it takes to film. And, it's an amazing process in itself. And it can be very intense. And depending on who you are, like especially if you're a talent, unless you're not rehearsing or, rehearsing or anything like that, you're just sitting around and you don't know what's going on actually behind the scenes, what it took for this producer or whatever, or this location hunter to actually find a location where you're going to film. That was a process. You know, the money that changed hands, you know, how this person had to speak to certain people to get them to fund their project, you know, how much stress that is. And sometimes they think, I'm just sitting around. But if you count your lucky stars, because sitting around may be the least stressful thing to do. Because while you're sitting around, just think about what you're going to do once the camera starts rolling. So that's it. Now, there's all sorts of filmmakers. There's filmmakers that know how to speak to talk, talk to talk, film talk. It's not me. I'm learning. I think you have to work on more sets and study more to learn the language of a filmmaker, which is looks really good when you're talking to someone and you're speaking, talking to talk. And I actually have a book about filmmaking that I keep around. And I have to spend more time looking at it, of course, because there's so many things in filmmaking that helps you to just say a long statement in just one term that everybody's familiar with. And then, you know, you're sort of on the same page, you know, that too. So, yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I realize some wonderful things I need to do in regards to filmmaking. I think it's very also important to be a writer, to write often, because as a filmmaker, you need ideas. That's what makes you film, because you have an idea. And then the idea is created, written, put into a script format, and then it's also, you know, they call this thing called script breakdown and all these things, line to script, shot lists. Is, you know, you have to, that's why it's, you know, I just cannot imagine doing right now, doing a film for over an hour, because I'm just thinking of how much writing is done, how much, I guess it's never limit, I'm gonna stop limiting myself, because you can do anything if you do it step by step, you know, no anxiety, none of that, you know. But you have to write your idea. And then the big kicker is you have to present your idea. We have something called log lines, where you just give a general idea. You know, this is a movie about a female who left home and went abroad, and she became sick and trying to get back home. Boom. Some kind of, you know, not the best one, but that's, you know, something. So then somebody go, so what's your film about? And that's your quick statement. Yeah, it's about a woman who left home, went overseas, got sick, and trying to get back home. Oh, and then all of a sudden you start getting expressed. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, it's crazy, right? And then the next thing I know is, even if you can't draw and you're doing your own film, you have a storyboard. It's so important to have a storyboard, because it's a step-by-step, like shots or of what you want to see on the screen. How do you want the actor to feel, to stand, position their body? And then you show it to the actor, and the actor says, okay, at least I know I'm supposed to be sitting in one of these scenes, walking in from this direction, in another scene, having a certain expression or leaning on something. And this prop is very essential for the scene, because in the next picture on the storyboard, the prop is just laying on the floor. So this prop is a big deal. So it's going to come out in the acting, that this is their connection with this prop. So the more the actor sees your vision, in many ways possible, even with the music, you say, this is the background. I know one place I read, it says, this is the background music. So you want to have set a tone for the film. Which person knows the tone, they know basically how to act. Because say if the tone is really calm, and the actor's like, I went to the star. See, they don't know that it's calm film. It's a certain kind of film. It's going to affect the mood of the actor. So there's so much to communicate to those involved, especially the lighting. Yeah, because I think They need to know how they need to light the scene based on the tone of the film. So if you're starting out like me and you want to know about filmmaking, let's talk about it because sharing ideas is great. You gotta talk, encourage one another, because there's a lot of people out there that'll make you feel like, just because you don't have the experience that they have, that, be quiet, watch and learn. You can't do anything when you watch and learn. You gotta do and learn. So don't let anyone stop you. Just, try to learn some lores along the way, like what you can do or can't do, and you can film what you can't film, stuff like that along the way. And there must be a topic for that where you can learn about the rules of filmmaking. Oh, and like they say, always get, consent forms and permission slips, location, permission. What's the other word they use? Yeah, there's a lot of things you need, like especially if you want to work, you want to film somewhere, a specific location. Permits. Yeah, permits. That's something like I never heard of as much till I went to college and took some continuing education courses. Permits, permits, permits. I heard so much about permits. So I think when you actually have a permit, you're getting somewhere with this filmmaking process. You're doing the big stuff because you need a permit. One day I'm going to need a permit. That costs money, right?